Hello everyone, my name is Leisha Jackson from FM Systems, and I want to thank you for attending today's webinar, Reserve Space When You Need It with the FM Interact Space Reservation Module. Before we begin, I want to cover a few housekeeping items. At the bottom of your console are multiple widgets you can use. If you have any questions during the webinar, you can click on the Q&A widget at the bottom and submit your questions. We will try to answer these during the webinar or after the webinar is over. You can expand your slide area by clicking on the Maximize icon on the top right of the slide area or by dragging the bottom right-hand corner of the slide area. An on-demand version of the webinar will be available one day after the webinar and can be accessed using the same audience link that was sent to you earlier. Today on the line, we have Brian Haynes, our Director of Marketing, and Rob Norn, our Manager of Application Engineers and Technical Sales. With that being said, Brian, I will turn it over to you.
Thank you, Leisha, and welcome everyone to our presentation focusing on our space reservation module. I'm just going to run through a few quick slides. For those of you who don't know us, FM Systems was founded in 1984 to help facilities teams effectively manage even the most demanding building portfolios. We've created the FM Interact Workplace Management Suite, and our FM Interact Workplace Management Suite is an integrated suite of powerful web-based facility management tools that helps organizations improve the management of space, occupancy, assets, moves, maintenance, leases, property, and more. Our promise is to provide our customers with quick and easy access to key facility information such as floor plans, reports, employee information, and critical documentation, which can enable facility teams to securely share information and manage facility processes more effectively. Today, we're going to be talking specifically about our space reservation module. Rob Noren, our Manager of Technical Sales, has joined me. Rob's going to be spending the majority of this presentation actually showing you the software live and showing you a brand new space reservation app that we're releasing. So the FM Interact Space Reservation Module provides functionality for both hoteling and conference room scheduling to meet today's rapidly evolving demands to manage employees who are highly mobile and can work anytime and anywhere. Now, the module itself is actually part of the FM Interact IWMS product suite. Our core modules are our space and asset management capabilities. This is where you keep all of your spatial data, all of the information on your assets, and then the space reservation module takes advantage of that spatial inventory and asset inventory to allow you to be able to do incredible amount of research in terms of determining what space is right for the meeting or hotel reservation that you're looking to accomplish. So what we're looking at right there is a list of all 11 modules that we have as part of the FM Interact Workplace Management Suite. It can help you to really improve the life cycle across a number of different functional areas within your facility portfolio, whether or not your facility portfolio is small or large. We have a variety of tools, web-based access through standard web browsers to be able to do things such as bring up your facility plans, your assets, and all of the workflows accessible through FM Interact, as well as a whole suite of mobile tools, including FM Mobile, our new space reservation app, which Rob is going to be giving you a sneak peek of here very shortly after he conducts an initial overview of our space reservation module. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Rob Noren, who's going to give you a demonstration. Rob, over to you.
Great. Thank you, Brian. And we should be able to see my screen here in just a moment. Okay, so as Brian mentioned, I'll be walking you through the functionality of our room reservations modules, which is both room scheduling for conference rooms, focus rooms, really anything that people may need to move away from and actually reserve, as well as hoteling. So being able to reserve a space maybe in a different office or for remote workers that may need to have a cubicle or an office for a day or two. Okay? So a couple ways to access the reservation form, and I'm going to start with our room scheduling. And we're going to go ahead and see if we can't find a conference room here. Okay, so our room scheduling space form is pretty simple, and we've designed it that way just to make it very, very quick and easy in order to find a room that's appropriate with whatever amenities or assets you may want included, as well as the ability to request certain things. Okay, so of course, we're be able to select our date and time, whether it's an all day. And this, time zone is going to default to the location, right? So if we're on the East Coast, it's going to switch over for us. Our recurrence, of course, it's almost identical to, say, Microsoft Outlook, right? It's being able to set, what days of the week, if it's, ending after 10 occurrences, and the administrator can actually set a cap on this, right? So people can't reserve a room for, say, a year or two out. Okay, so in this case, it defaults to my assigned location. So I'm logged in as myself, and I am sitting in Denver. Okay, so I'll go ahead and see all the rooms that are available here in our first location. Okay, so nice availability. That's great. We're able to pick from this list, right? But we can also switch over to a floor plan view to see that, see where they're actually located. This is nice because it'll show if it's green, that means it's available for the times we're requesting. If it's red, that's going to mean that it's booked, right? And it would actually show yellow if it requires approval, right? So if you have a boardroom or a large event space that you don't want just anybody to reserve, we can restrict that as well. Okay. See here, that looks appropriate. Now, once I click on that room, you notice I get a room options tab here. Okay. So switching over that, I can see, all right, very good, capacity, what amenities are included. So Polycom, it could be anything like that, as well as the included equipment, right? So we have a large HD display, a projector, so that looks like it'll work for me. And then we also have the ability to select different layouts. Now this room only has one option, which is our standard layout. And of course we can take a look at a preview, being able to switch through those. Quick. And then, so we also have requestable amenities. Now what's nice about this is we can designate what amenities are available for different rooms. Okay. We can also associate cost with those if we're going to be, performing chargebacks for this type of thing. All right. So for here, we'll say video conference and a whiteboard here. Now, of course, if there was something I might need that's a little special, maybe a printer or something like that, I can also add that to my reservation. Okay. So this all looks good. I'll go ahead and save this. And what's going on now is it's syncing up with my Outlook calendar. So we do have a bidirectional integration with Microsoft Outlook. Okay, that means that as soon as I reserve this and it's linked up, it's going to show up in my calendar. If I cancel or change it in Outlook, it's going to be reflected in the system. So that was very simple reservation. We're going to go through that one more time, except I want to focus on one feature, which is our filters. This is pretty powerful. Because if I need a room specifically for, say, 15 people, or maybe with a certain layout, I can actually filter my results based on that criteria. Okay, so maybe I'm doing training, I might need something like that, or a U-shape, right? Being able to filter my results that way. Okay, so it'll give you the option to show that, and also, only show rooms that are available. So, I might be in desperate need of a room, and I can see what's already booked, and maybe contact those people, see if I can't switch that out. Okay. Go. Now, one thing to note also is that all of these reservations, when I make them, we can send out whatever types of notifications we want. So if we did need that set up, right, for a different configuration, we can automate that notification, go to facilities to maybe set that up ahead of time. If we request different amenities, such as a projector, that could go to IT as well, letting them know that we're going to need that. So we saw the first way coming right from that first menu or the home page there, but we also have a nice graphic view, right? That I can switch to, say, show meeting availability. And from here, this also allows me to see what rooms are available and also access that form directly from here. Okay. So in this case, we'll say, all right, well, we have a big event. We'll reserve this all day. No layouts. Okay, that's no problem. Any amenities? Well, we will get catering. Treat ourselves a bit there. Very good. And then down at the bottom, you also notice that we can permission the ability to reserve this on behalf of somebody else. Okay, so we do track both who we actually reserve this and switch who it's actually for. All right, let's go ahead and add this as well. So again, it's very simple, very quick in order to make these changes or reservations. Okay? And hoteling works very much the same way. So that's what I'll show next here. Okay, so hoteling is very, very similar, but it is a little watered down, right? We don't have as many options. Again, this is meant to be very, very quick and easy to use. So if I simply need a room or say a workstation for the day, right? We can switch over to our floor plan view, see what's available. Okay, now the dark green is showing that does require approval. Okay, and we can route that or configure that to push or have somebody particular approve that for different sites, if it's a certain type of space, if it belongs to a certain department, right? So that's very configurable as well. We'll go ahead and select this. Works. Again, very, very quick, easy to make those reservations. Now, a big part of this, of course, is the analytics, right? The reports we can get out of this, understanding how efficient we're being. So things like peak weekly usage, right? We see that we're not doing so well here. We're shy of about 9 reservations per day. So we may need to cut back on the meeting rooms, maybe convert them over to offices, something like that. Also that total weekly usage. So seeing where we have spikes during the week, right? What days are most popular? Okay. And then, of course, chargebacks, amenities, needed to charge for that as well. Here. So a lot of those different statistics that we're able to get out here are very important to this. So now, as Brian mentioned, we do have a new application or a mobile phone app available for reservations, and I'll pull that up and give you a preview of what that looks like. Okay, so again, very, very simple. First thing we're going to do is select whether we want room scheduling or hoteling space, being able to add that subject or any additional notes for the details. Very good. So we're able to see what rooms are available, select our dates, adjust our times. And then from here, being able to specify our capacity. Okay, so this is taking place of those filters, right? Okay, and then see what's available. And finally, reserve. We can see here we still have that same functionality available on the mobile app that we do on the full version. And we can see our upcoming reservations as well as the existing reservation, which is on top there. So next, hoteling. Again, very simple. Filling in any subject details we need. And again, very, very quick to reserve these hoteling spaces. So notice that a couple of those have the orange box. That means that they're either pending approval, right? So go ahead and reserve that. Now we have a list of both our room scheduling and hoteling reservations. Right, so at this point, looks like we may have a couple questions. Lisa, would you be able to help me out with those up there?
Yes, I'd be happy to. The first question that we have is, does FM Systems support built-in or automatic setup and tear down times so reservations don't get stacked next to one another?
That's a great question. That's something we've actually heard quite a bit. At the moment, we do not have that kind of built-in ability to set a lead time, but that's something that is coming out very soon. So it is on a roadmap and a future enhancement that will be available soon.
Okay. Can room reservations include a filter by setup, such as having a filter to only show rooms with a projector?
Yeah, absolutely. So that goes right back to our filter options here. And by the way, this is configurable, so we can actually define our different filters here. So I've actually added in a few this morning. Maybe if they're directly associated with a certain a department or space type. But if we see here with the equipment options, pull that down, being able to see all of our requestable equipment, and also those layouts. So another one might be that amenities, which is very, very simple configuration to add that in as well.
All right. Are these perimeters created within FM system software, or is it something that needs to be exported from something like Revit?
Sure. So it is typically managed right within FM Interact. So if we look here, just the same way we may change information for any spaces here. Right. So if we take a look and maybe we're going to switch a few of these workstations over to hoteling spaces. Right, being able to quickly edit that, switch them over, right, say hoteling spaces, whether or not it requires approval, what the capacity is, right, not the actual capacity of the space, but the hoteling capacity, and then also associate a rate with that if we need. And as soon as I save this, if I switch over to my hoteling view, we'll be able to see those changes reflected there. So to answer the question, does not need to be done through AutoCAD or Revit. We can control which spaces are reservable, what amenities they might have available, and any of the other attributes related to room.
That's great. Can our users start the room reservation process in Outlook?
Yes, absolutely. So a lot of times what people are doing today, right, is going to their Outlook calendar to the scheduling assistant and seeing if rooms are available or requesting rooms that way. We do have that true bidirectional integration with Microsoft Outlook. So it doesn't matter whether you initiate the reservation in FM Interact or you do that in Outlook, they're going to be synced up in real time. And also any changes or cancellations will be reflected as well in both FM Interact and Outlook.
And is this hosted locally or in the cloud?
We have a couple options. Well, actually, we have three options for our solution. One is, you own it and you host it on your servers. You own it and we host it for you. Or it's a software as a service, so a SaaS solution where you essentially lease the software. So it is available or could be available in the cloud. It really just depends on how you'd like to set that up.
Are business users able to use hoteling to create a new hotel in a currently empty location? Currently empty location.
Sure. So, well, the way that works is that goes right back to, or very similar to what I was showing here. As long as spaces where we have the ability to edit information, so that means we're power users of the systems, we're advanced users, and we have the permission to do that, we can easily create hoteling spaces, right? Whether these are occupied or if we want to take advantage, maybe they're unoccupied for a period of time. Again, that's that very simple task of editing that designation, either changing them to hoteling space, in this case it might say room scheduling space, and updating those spaces. So it is very, very quick to either change from hoteling, which I did a moment ago, or going back over to our meeting room availability and having those show. Again, it's very, very quick to make those changes on the fly to change whether spaces are reservable or not.
Another one just came through. Is there a field for the client to enter or a way to capture the anticipated number of meeting occupants in order to run capacity versus occupancy utilization reports to see if larger rooms are being underutilized or if smaller rooms are being booked at max occupancy?
It's a great question. Yes, we can absolutely do that. Again, that would be a very, very simple configuration just to simply add that to the reservations form. Ooh, that one happens to be reserved since I just reserved that a moment ago. But if we pull this up, again, all of these different fields are configurable. We may say, okay, have that anticipated number of occupants. We could even add in a hyperlink. So if there was a say, GoToMeeting involved or WebEx, having that link included with the reservation is an option as well.
All right. Let's see. We have existing apps that would need to interact with FM Interact via web services and an SOA. Does FM Interact expose a comprehensive set of functionality via web services or apps, and where I could find web services and API documentation and examples?
Yes, sure. Our hosting department has probably all of the documentation you could probably ever want or need around web services, integrations, and things like that. So our typical answer is, with outside or separate solutions, applications, right? As long as we can get data in and out in a fairly standard format, it really just depends on the frequency that you would like to exchange that data. So we certainly have that availability, and the best example would be our existing one with Microsoft Outlook. The other key thing, of course, is making sure that, for instance, if your other application has a list of rooms, that those room numbers and buildings, those things actually match what we have in FM Interact. With those two things considered, it should not be a problem to tie in or integrate with other systems.
Great, thank you, Rob. Right now, that looks like all of the questions that we have. But again, if you have any questions, at the bottom of your console, you'll see a little Q&A icon or widget that you can click on and enter in your questions as well. And just so everyone's aware, there are a variety of widgets at the bottom, one of which is a resource widget. There's a few documents and videos in there that pertain to the hoteling and room scheduling functionalities within FM Interact. So you can take a look at those or download them, save them, and send them along to some colleagues if you're interested.
Right. And Lisa, one other thing we don't have currently in the system, but I wanted to share with everyone that I was surprised didn't come up was the check-in process, right? Similar to one of the questions that was asked, right? For instance, we want to make sure that people are checking into their meetings so that, if they're not showing up, those are released and available for other people. So we do have a couple ways to do that, and we are in the process of partnering with a company that will, automate that process, right? Being able to determine whether people are actually in that room and check them in and out, in an automated fashion.
Great, thank you, Rob. Well, if there's no more questions for today, we will adjourn a little early and give you some time back in the day. But I do want to thank everyone for taking time out of your day to attend today's webinar. If you have any questions afterwards, please don't hesitate to reach out. And like I had said at the beginning, the on-demand portion will be available with the link that was sent to you in email today. It looks like actually one more question came through. Do you find that architects are incorporating your services into the building package to the owner? Is there a way of making the information from Revit translate easier for FM use?
Yes, to both of those, or both parts of that question. Architects and AC firms are definitely offering this as a service, as part of their involvement with the client. And just like we have with the Outlook, we do have that bidirectional integration with both AutoCAD and Revit. What that means is we can pull any data, either from Revit into FM Interact, and also push potentially information from FM Interact back into Revit. Okay? And that's really generalized, but it's critical when it comes to assets and space information. So the answer to that is yes, absolutely. And I do see one other question from the folks over there at Watchtower. How does the bi-directional link to Outlook work? Does it provide a link from Outlook to see the floor plan layout? Yes, that's definitely something we can do. It could also contain a link to view that reservation, so you can either adjust, cancel, modify the details, and add amenities as needed. So, yep, absolutely. You can jump right from your Outlook invitation or notification into the floor plan to see where that room is located.
All right. Well, thank you again, Rob, and thank you again, everyone, and thank you, Brian, for this great webinar. As I said, the on-demand portion will be available afterwards, and don't hesitate to reach out with any questions. Thank you again, and I hope everyone has a great day.
Thank you, Alicia.